we will see basically the string class. The string builder is optional, so there are also some slides for you, but it is just really too optional for you, okay? We won't spend time on it. And then we will see also the character class. And I will go a little bit fast. The reason is that in this lecture we'll extensively see the methods of string classes and the string objects in Java. There are too many methods actually, and some of them I believe you should know how to use it, and some of them are, to be honest, very detailed information, and I don't think that, I mean, you don't need to know all these functions like you, but what you need is that you should be aware of what are the things you are capable of with a string class, because at least you should say that, okay, string should have this kind of a method, okay? I don't remember its name, or maybe I don't remember its exact parameters, but it should be, I should be able to do it with the strings, some of the functions. Then you can just check the methods of string, and then you can do. So this awareness is needed. It's a must. But now we will see in some functions, it says, okay, it has 4 parameters. This means that, and so on. I don't think that you have to memorize it. If I ask a question that requires these kind of functions, then I will at least provide, like it takes 4 parameters and it takes these, because in real life also, we don't do it from our mind, but we just look at the API, the function definitions. But in some functions, I believe you should know. So I'll also mention that, okay, please memorize this. And it is the simplest one, no worries. So let's start. So basically, the Java lang package provides this character, string, and string builder classes. And the string literals, whenever we write in double quotes A, B, C, or whatever text, they are actually stored as a string object. So it's not a raw data type. It's not like int, float, double, or Boolean value. It's actually an object in Java. And a string has its own constructors, like empty constructor that takes a string object, that takes a char array, that takes a char array, and then 2 integers. So what does this mean? If you just say, I'll just show it from the code. So you can literally say string s1 is equal to new string without, that doesn't take any parameter. It creates you an empty string. So what is an empty string? I'll show it from my Eclipse. Basically, if I just open a double quote and finish it, this is an empty string, a string that doesn't contain any character. This is empty. So you can also define it by this constructor that doesn't take any parameter. Or you can say, you can put a string and then create a new string. So what is this? If I have ABC, let's say, then I can also say S. So this is also valid. Then this S1 will also have this value of ABC. You might say, okay, why am I doing this? Well, the thing is, it creates a different object in the memory. So there are 2 different objects in the memory. So if you change S1 will not be affected. So this is, sometimes you might need to do this. This is the reason. And the others are, you can put a char array. So char array is basically a list of char characters. And then you can, like you can see here, this is here we have an array in which we have all these chars, and then it will basically convert it to a string. Like in this case, this S3 will be basically birthday. It will just concatenate all these strings. And also, well, you might say that, okay, I have this char array, but I don't want all of them to be string. I just want them starting from this starting index 6, and then I just need 3 more letters. So from the birthday, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is D, then 3 letters, D-A-Y. So I can just take a portion of that array and then convert it to the string. I'll go a little bit fast. We have too many slides, too many functions, okay? But whenever you think that I need to stop, or if you have any questions, please stop me, okay? Then string objects are immutable. So what does it mean? Well, actually, you cannot change the character contents within a string. So, well, you'll say, okay, really, is that the case? Like I said S is equal to ABC, then I said DEF, and it works, I guess. So if I put S, let's see, will it print ABC or DEF? It prints DEF. Then how is it immutable? Well, this is a very technical detail, but actually in the memory, basically, it is not changing the value of ABC. It is just creating another string that has this value of DEF, and then I'm just changing the reference of it. So instead of referring to ABC, now it refers to, in my code, DEF. So basically, I didn't change this ABC. I just created another string, and then I made it give a reference to DEF. So this is just some more technical detail about it. And when I'm trying to access an strings, a particular character, like give me the 5th character or so, I can do it as long as I'm within the boundaries. If I try to say give me the -1, the item in the -1 index, in Python it works, right? In Python you say, what does happen if you say index -1 in a string? The last one, yes. In Java, you get an error. It says you cannot. You get, this is index out of bound exception. Or if you have 5 letters and then you want to get the 6th one, you'll get an index out of bound exception. So we really have to pay attention to the boundaries of the strings. So in Python, it's slightly more flexible. You can give minus values, but in Java, definitely not. And these two functions, please memorize that, okay? One of them is length. So basically, it is returns the number of characters we have. In Python, what do you do to get a number of characters? Yes, we have a Python function which is len. So you usually do that. But in Java, we don't do it. We have to call everything from a class, from an object. So we say s.length. Then it gives me the number of characters in it. So this is the way. So please don't confuse it with Python. The other one is char at. So in char at, again in Python, how do you get an item? Let's say I want to get the 2nd character. How do you get it?
Using
Scare brackets.
Yeah,
We use the scare brackets, right? So again in Python, we basically do this, which means that give me the item in index 1. But in Java, we don't. Then this will give you basically an error. So we do this char at, and then I say 1. Then it means that give me the character that in the index of 1. Okay. So I want you to memorize these two, length and char at. Okay. So please don't get confused with that. Now, get chars. If I ask this, I will provide these details, okay? So, but just to give you that, to be aware of what you can do, there's a get chars function, which basically copies the character of a string into a character array. So we have a string, and now we want to copy it to a character array, but it is a very overloaded function. So we have one name, but different parameters. What are those? Actually, it has, 4 parameters on it. There was one another function that I'm confused with. So it takes 4 parameters. The first argument is the starting index in the string. Second argument is the index that is one past the last character to be copied. So I'm saying that start from here to there, okay, from the string. And the third argument is my character array to copy it to that character array. But in that character array, I might say, okay, in your target array, start copying from which index. You can say, okay, start from the beginning, or maybe start from the 5th, and so on, okay? So just to give you an example, yeah, we can get the length, or this was I think a question that I had also asked, we have in our class activity, if when we have a string, S1, if we want to print it in reverse order, how can we do it? Well, I need to start from the very end. How can I know the very end? I first need to get the number of characters, which is s1.length. then, but if I have 5 characters, s1.length will return me 5. But their index starts from 0. So the index of the last item is not s1.length. So that's why I'm reducing -1. Then I go up to, I reach the beginning. And then at each iteration, I reduce it by -1. And then I will just print at every iteration s1.char_add. So basically, I will print the last one, then the previous one, then the previous one, and so on up to the beginning, which means that basically I will print that string in reverse order. Or this is this copy characters. If I want to copy the string to a char array, so this is the string that I want to copy, s1. And then I'll start copying from the items from the 0 to 5, okay? So what is my s1? I'll just go here. It's hello there. So okay, basically 0 to 5 means HELLO. So I will copy hello part of it only. Then I will copy it to my char array, which is, again, I copy it defined here, which is here. It's now empty, but I will now copy it. And then for this char array, I will start copying from the index 0, okay? So the output is basically here. It's printed in the reverse order, and this is the input of the char array. So again, I'll just repeat. Get chars. No need to memorize these 4 parameters. If I ask, I will say that the first one means this, the second one means that. But please memorize char at and length. Okay, these are the very basic one string code. Do you have any question? All right. Then, in order to compare the strings, well, we have these 4 options: equals, ignore case, compare to, and region matches. So one thing that I want you to really pay attention, and this is a common mistake, we don't use double equal sign to compare strings. Okay, I'll come to give an example for this. Do you know why is that?
That's not the same thing, they will be equal.
Yes, when we use this double equal sign, we don't compare the values of a string. We compare their memory addresses. So if I go back to my code, if I say S is ABC and S1 is also, I just put, let me, don't change it actually. Let me do it. If I print S and S1, and then let's just see the result. So I'll just first print it to see that they are same. So I get ABC and ABC. But when I print that, okay, is S double equal sign S1, are they same? Okay. So basically, are they really same objects? So then I should get false, because, okay, their values are same, but they are kept in different locations in the memory. That's why when I use double equal sign, I'll get, then my answer will be false. So for the strings, we are not using double equal sign, okay? So then what are we using? We are using this equals method. So equals method basically compares the values of it. Like S1 dot equals S2, or so if their values are same, if both are ABC, then the result will be will be also true. And but when we use equals, the case of the letters will matter. Like ABC with lowercase and ABC with uppercase. If we use equals, the result will be again false. So it really pay attention to the case of the letters. If you don't want it, if you just want to say, okay, ABC lowercase and ABC uppercase, or all the options with this case parts, you just want to ignore it, then you should use equals ignore case. Then it won't give you a different result. And then the other one is a compare to. So this is more generic. So I can compare to any values, any strings, sorry. If they are same, the result will be 0. Now it has a very specific numerical meaning, mapping, okay? So if because it returns an integer, it doesn't return Boolean or a Boolean value. So 0 means they are same. If I say, okay, S1, S dot compare to S1, okay, and then it returns me a negative number, okay, then it means that, okay, the string that invokes compare to, in our case S, is less than S1. So if it returns positive, then the opposite is true. I'll give an example. I think it will make more sense. Actually, let me do it from here already. So we did this, and let me also do one part, S2, which is, let's give it the values of A, B, C. So A is greater. You are ABC? Yeah, okay. And let's also define another one, which is, let's say, DF. Okay. Then, in my comparison, what I'll do is now, I'll compare S1 dot equals S, no, this is S, right? So let me change this. S that equals S1. So now, since both the values are ABC with lowercase, the result will be basically true. But if I compare this with S2, not S1, then one of them is ABC, all lowercase. The other one is ABC, but A is capital. If I say equals, then the result will be false. But if I say equals, ignore case, so I'll just also do it. Then now this one, the result will be basically true because I just ignored the case. Both are ABC. For the compare to case, now it will return me an integer, and I should know what it means. So if I say S1 dot compare to S, or let me do it with all same S and S1. Okay, so the result should be basically 0 because they are same. But if I say, let me copy paste here. Okay, S dot compare to S3. Okay, now one of them is ABC, the other one is DEF. Now it basically compares their ASCII values, and A and D. So A has a lower ASCII value than D, so ABC is actually smaller, okay, than DEF. So since, let me run it, since S1 has a lower value, ABC, its score is minus. So I will know that, okay, DF has a greater one. But if I just change this, instead of saying S compared to S3, I'll say S3 compared to S. I just reversed it. Then the result will be now positive 3. Okay, so it is important that which invokes this compare to function. Based on that, if the value that invokes this compare to function greater than the parameter, then the result will be positive. Otherwise, it will be negative. Where do we use it? We use it to sort strings lexicographically. Like you might have maybe a string array, like the student names, and then you want to sort them based on their names, so based on lexicographical order. Then you need to use this compare to function so that it will be sorted in that way. And the other one is the region matches. So this is much, again, you don't need to memorize all these parameters. It is an overloaded function. One of them takes 4 parameters, the other one takes 5 parameters. You literally don't need to memorize it. If I ask it, I will provide the meaning of these parameters. But let's look at it. So basically, it compares two strings. But the good thing is that now I can define like a region of this string. Is it equal to the region of that string? So I can basically compare two substrings within different strings. So the first one is basically the starting index that invokes this parameter. The second one argument is the comparison string. So which string I will compare. The third one is the starting index in the comparison string, in the parameter 1. And the last one is how many parameters I would like to compare. And if you want to use the overloaded version, basically the other version is that you add in the first parameter Boolean value. If it is true, it means that you just want to ignore the cases. As an example, I'll skip this because I already gave it in the Eclipse. But I would like to focus on this region one, which is here. So what does this mean? S3 dot region matches 0, S4, 0, 5. It means that compare S3 and S4, their substrings. What are they? Starting from this index 0 of S3 and starting from index 0 of S4, and for each go up, take 5 characters and then compare them. Are they same or not? Okay, so if in our example, for instance, let's look at it. What is S3 and S4? Happy birthday. So we will basically, starting from 0, we'll compare happy with this and happy with this. But since their cases are different, one of them H is uppercase, in the other one lowercase, this function will basically return us false. If I want to ignore that, I should just ignore the case, then I'm putting this true here, then the others have the same meaning, then it will just ignore the case and the result will be true in that sense. Shall I proceed?
Just use equal.
That's a good question. S3 is happy birthday, and S4 is happy birthday also. But I don't want to compare those parts. I just want to compare a region. Like, let me give you an example, actually. So I want to. So let's say that we have this S4, which should be, of course, string. A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. Then I have also S5. And then I would say D, E, F, and ABC. I'm sorry, ABC. Okay? So they are not same strings. But what I want to do is, for the region matches from the S4, not S1, take the, starting from 0, take the first 3 letters of S4, and from the S5, start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Start from 4. Okay? And I would like to print it, of course, so I'll just take this and put it here. What does it say? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yes, it should be a string. Yes. So when I run this, now what will happen is, result is, yes, thank you. Oh, okay, yes. The result is now true. What happened is basically, starting from S4, take the first 3 letters, and from S5, starting from the index 4, take 3 letters. So one of them is ABC, and the other one is ABC. So I'm comparing those 2 regions. Then they are same. Where can we use it? Well, it might be in many cases, but just as a very practical example, if you want to compare 2 DNAs of a person, DNA can be coded with a string. Then you just want to compare, is this region same with this region? Yeah, you might go with this function if you like. All right. Moving on. The other one is starts with and ends with. I also would like you to memorize this. There is a function called starts with and ends with in string, okay? Basically, it takes one parameter and you check, does this string start with this string or not, okay? And the other one, the index of, last index of, I also would like you to memorize this. Basically, it takes a string and then returns you the starting index of that part. Like, let me give you an example for this. So for the starting with, if I have, okay, now I have a string array here, which is started, starting, ended, and ending. So I have 4 strings. Then through a for loop, for each string in my list, what I'm doing is I'm just checking, is this string starts with st? If it is, then print it. So what this function will do is basically I will go over it, and then if it starts with an st, which is this one, yes, we will print it. Starting, yes, we will print it. Ended and ending, they do not start with an st, so we will skip those. So this is the start with, and again we can go with like this start with has also one parameter, which is basically you can define, okay, starts with, but starting from the position 2. So ignore the index 0 and 1, and then check is it its third index, index 2, 3, 4. Are they ART? Okay. So if you don't mention any number, it just starts from the index 0. But you might say that, okay, I would like to start it from the second index or whatever it is. So we can also define it. The same thing with the ends with. So which one ends with an ed? So again, basically in this one, it will print started and ended because both of them end with ed. So I want you to memorize this, ended and so start with and ends with. The other one is the index of. So in this index of, basically it takes a string and then returns its index within that string. If it doesn't exist, it returns -1. So what is this? Let's do an example. Let's say that we have these string letters, and then I put all the English letters in that. And then I would like to know, okay, where this C is located. Okay, which character is this? So how can I know it? So letters, which is my string, that index of, then I put this character, C. So basically, then it will return 0, 1, 2. So C exists in the second index, so it will return me 2. How about A? But now again, starting from the index 1. So let me do. What will be the output of this? Letters index of A. So look for A, starting from index 1, and return its index if it exists. Yes. So since we start from the first index, not 0, we start from the index 1, not 0, we won't check this A. So we will go up to this and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it will return me 13. And if it doesn't exist, like this $sign, then it will return me -1. The other one is the last index of. Basically now, in the previous one, we were counting from left to right, but in the last index of, we will go from right to left. So from the last item to the, so when I say last C is located at which part, so again now, instead of returning this 2, now we will look at from here, and then, okay, we'll find this C here, this one, and then return the index of it. Okay, so for index of and last index of, we have on these two versions. Again, if it doesn't exist, it returns -1, and again, it has this overloaded version in which I can also put an index so that it will start the searching from that index to the beginning. Shall I proceed? So this index starts with, ends with, last index, we use them a lot. So please memorize these. Their overloaded version, they might be used, of course, but in a very specific cases. But at least they're not overloaded versions. Please memorize how to use it. And actually, it's pretty simple. Like you just give a string, and then it does what it's supposed to do. All right. Let's also see this and then take the one attendance. The other one is substring. This is also a common function. At least I'm using it a lot also. So what is this? Well, basically it takes a string and then takes a chunk of it. Like it returns another string, but it should be a substring of it. Like I have a long string, but I just want to take the first 5 characters or the one in the middle. So I want to get that string. How can I use it? I'll use this substring one. So it is an overloaded function. One way is, in one of them it takes 1 argument, in the other one it takes 2 arguments. So what are those? If I have this letters string, again, all the English letters I have in it. If I say that letters.substring 20, which means that starting from the 20, index 20, give me the remaining of the string. So for that one, so since we have 20 letters in that, we should get these remaining ones, which is A, H, I, J, K, L, M. So we will ignore the first 20, the 19 of them, and then we will start from the index 20 and then get the rest. If I say substring 0, what will I get? All of it, yeah. So if I set this parameter 0, it means that give me that string also, exactly the same one. And if I want to say, okay, I don't want to go to the end. I just want, starting from index 3 out, and then I just want to get this up to 6, not including 6. Then I need to use this overloaded version, which means, okay, so for that one, what I will get is if I say 3 and 6, so A is 0, B is 1, C is 2, D is 3. So starting from D, D is D, E, F. E is 4, F is 5, G is 6. I will not take the 6th one, so I will just get D, E, F. So this will basically return me D, E, F. Okay? Yes, please.
How can I count backwards?
Well, this doesn't count from the backwards, so we are saying that, we just take it in the correct order, not in the reverse order. That's a good question, by the way. Yeah, I might either make it a quiz question or a practice question. Good. Nice question.